him 2 more times, and I was like, Herb, he's out.
Niko, how's it going, brother?
Hey,
Good to
what's
see you, man.
up?
Oh, not too much, man. How's the past couple weeks been for you?
Good. Just
Yeah,
at the house.
just going through the recovery and all that, and focusing on the future for yourself, I assume. And man, I want to talk to you about that UFC 249 fight. What a brawl that was!
Yeah, it was.
Was that the expectation going into the fight? Did you expect it to be a brawl like that?
Oh yeah, I expected a war.
Yeah, and
So we went in
Vicente,
there and we gave it.
yeah, Vicente Luque went on to talk about how he was how he could hear the commentators during the fight. Is that something you could hear as well?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I heard them talking about me getting leg kicked, but I was like, man, I'm kicking him. How are they saying I'm still getting leg kicked? It's funny.
Yeah, and that goes to show, like, when you guys were talking before they made the announcement, how you guys were looking at each other. You guys were giving each other compliments. You got to have a lot of respect for a guy like that.
You got it. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like a super prideful dude. You know, like he beat me. You know, we were in there. I gave it what I had. You know, I could have went another minute, but Jason said no. So, you know, he can see better than me. Get it?
So look, like, even going back to the fight, like, people were talking about how much damage you took, and when they called the fight, you were like, oh man, I can't believe that they called the fight. Like, you were ready to go, and Joe Rogan even went on to say how they could take your head off and you would still be trying to fight. That's your mentality going into it, right?
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna die in there. Come get some.
Yeah.
You know, like I trained my ass off to give everything I have in there. I'm not going in there for 30% or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like I got to go in there and I'm giving 130, 150. I'm trying to get you too. I want to finish you. Someone put, "Hey, Biko." It's Niko, darn it. Oh, he typed wrong. It's okay. I understand.
Yeah, and we talked about, obviously, hearing the commentators and all that. It's got to be a weird experience with COVID going on, getting into an empty arena. Was there anything else that you noticed was different about fighting in an empty arena?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Great. I was listening to Henry Hoof talk. You know, I was listening to Gilbert yell out like techniques and stuff in defense. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know, I could hear everybody. I could hear him. I heard Joe Rogan. I heard Daniel Cormier.
Wow.
I didn't hear John though. I didn't hear Annie.
Wow, that's weird. And man, even looking at, like, even after a loss in that fight, you're still one of the big names in the UFC. And I and a lot of other people think you're still online to fight another tough opponent for your next fight. Is that what you're expecting?
I haven't went nowhere. Come get some. I'm ready for another 15er. Let's do it, man.
Is there a person in your mind that you're looking for, or even a date in mind that you're looking for?
As soon as I get healed, I'm gonna be right back into going ham. Right now, next week, I get to go see. Like, everything's good. Like, I didn't have to get surgery. I didn't have to do nothing. You know, they said take 3 weeks and let all the fractures heal. So I did that. Now I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go get checked out again, and as soon as I know, we'll message you, and we'll come back on and let you know what's up.
Perfect. I can't wait. I want to change the subject real quick and talk about, obviously, your style kind of speaks for itself, but talk to me a little about the origin of talking about your nickname, the Hybrid.
So like from the beginning of fighting, like I went in there, I could do both.
Yeah.
You know, like, and my cardio is good. Like, I used to go 3 rounds all the time in amateur. You know, I used to go all the rounds, and I would go all the rounds throwing 100%. Just like in the beginning of the 3rd round, I was dancing. Dude, I was so excited. I haven't been to a 3rd round in years. You know, like, when I was in there, I was like, oh, I feel good. I was like, all right, I'm going to throw so much this round. I'm coming at you with 5,000. You know?
Yeah. And
like,
you're one of the flashy fighters of the division. You're one of the flashiest fighters in the UFC. I think that kind of style speaks perfectly for what Dana White wants for Fight Island. Is that something you see 100% in your future?
Let's go, baby. I'm down. I'll go train on the beach for a couple weeks and then get in the ring. I don't care, like, crowd or not, dude. I don't care anymore. I got the fight in front of nobody. It's just as fun as fighting in front of 15,000. we get
Yeah.
the same thrill, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
I like it.
Like looking at how motivated you are. I want to talk about your like just your outside of the octagon life. You're a father of 5. Talk to me about how hard it is balancing being a father and being one of the top fighters in the UFC.
I have a great wife, man, and she is 100% the reason I am where I am. Like, my wife, Niko Price, just, yeah, dude, hands down. She keeps me in line, and 5 kids. So she got 6 kids, put it that way. And the oldest one's 30.
Wow.
You know, like, but
So yeah, like even
so
talking
much.
about that. Yeah, like even talking about that, like talking about your performances in the UFC. What's a performance that you look back and say like that was my best performance, and what's one that you just sticks out in your memory?
My last fight was my favorite performance. I did what I wanted to do. I wanted to go in there and throw. You know, you just get caught. It's fucking fighting. Sorry, my language again. But it's just fighting, you know, like, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. I mean, I totally could have seen that going to a draw, too, because our stats were so freaking tight. Like, because they didn't even count in my ground control or my submission attempts.
Yeah.
If you look on the cards, because I had the anaconda, the triangle that I switched into elbows, and then he got up, and I was like, "Where you going, man? Come here!" And now I try to get up, I got up too slow.
Luque was even talking about how
eye.
Rogan called out the guillotine you were going for in that fight as well, like calling out the submissions and all that. So you were right. You did have a lot of submissions in that fight as well.
And I had like a minute of ground control.
Yeah.
When we hit the floor, he didn't have anything. Like, he didn't do anything.
So obviously, like you have like you're one of the crazy personalities of the, and I mean crazy in a good way, obviously, but you're one of the big personalities of the UFC. Even if you weren't in the UFC, where could you picture yourself? Like, what's a job that would be fitting for Niko Price?
I would be working towards putting people in the UFC if I wasn't in the UFC.
Keeping that
I would
motivation.
already have my own school, and I would have fighters on their way into the UFC. Because I can coach really good.
Yeah.
I just don't.
So talking about the welterweight division, they have a ton of big names in the welterweight division. Who is the guy that you see you 100% fighting before your career end?
Oh, 100%. I see 100%. I will one day fight Mike Perry. It could be 10 years from now or next fight. I don't know. But one day we will get in there together.
Is that a fight you see
Have
possible
to.
next?
I don't know. He's going for a kill right now, so it's whatever.
So yeah, like even going back to talking about the Luque fight. What a brawl that was again. Like, I remember saying to my friend during that fight that it looked like your R2 button in UFC 3 was broken and you weren't able to block. Is that crazy to like? How important is it to you to make sure you please the fans and you make the fans put on a show?
Dude, like I said, when I'm in there, I just give it everything. Like, I have no repercussion. I'm in there to fight you. I'm going to go out on my shield, or I'm taking you out with my sword. You know, like, it's simple as that. You know, we're not. That was the one fight I wanted to go 15 minutes. Because I wanted to beat him, like, in every way. And all the way through.
Yeah, and
but the last minute, I slipped up and got caught, you know.
And like,
but it's all good because that's the fucking sport. You know, sometimes you gotta take that risk, and sometimes it doesn't come back for you.
And I remember watching it.
Next time, though. I'll get it next time, though.
I remember watching it. You even said that to him straight to his face. Like, yeah, after the fight happened, you even pumped up a Gilbert Burns, and you said, "I'm coming for you next. I got to get through him first, though."
I wanted to fight him first.
Yeah.
I heard his name before I heard Vicente's, and I accepted that one, but it didn't go that way. Yeah. You know, so I gotta go back to work. That's all.
Yeah. So and
I still have to rest a little bit and then get back to work.
Going through UFC 249, that was the first fight that they had no fans in. Do you view yourself as a part of history going through that as well?
Totally.
Yeah.
The only reason we didn't get fight of the night is because Gaethje freaking did something awesome and broke history himself. You know, how short was his notice? It was 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks or something like that. Taking up a guy who had a huge win streak as well.
On a 12-fight win streak, and out of that, they're showing all the highlight videos of how he mutilates people's faces. So like, that's not helping anyone.
Yeah, it's a mentality that I'm sure you possess as well. You're looking to get back in there. I can tell. I can see the fire.
We're willing to jump in there. You know,
Yeah.
I'm down. I'll jump in there again with Vicente tomorrow. Like, 100%.
Like
Even if I won, I would jump in there again with him. And, you know, like, those.
Yeah.
I like fighting good competitors because then you get the best meat.
Yeah, he like
does hit hard.
Yeah,
and he has great onyx gloves too. Sorry, I was just reading.
Yeah, no worries, man. So yeah, even going back to Vicente again, like it seems like a guy you got a lot of respect for, despite having fought him 2 times. As soon as the fight was over, you guys went and embraced each other, and you went, "Oh, I wanted to hit you in the face more."
Yeah, I did.
It's crazy to see that, man.
I said, "Oh, you lucky bastard!" But I meant it in like a good way, not a mean way. That's just my English.
Yeah, I want to talk about. Obviously, I think a lot of people who I guess we could call the casuals when they hear Niko Price, they think of obviously your crazy hits from the bottom, the knockout of James Vick.
Yeah.
Talking about those, is that something you view as a specialty of yours, or is it something you just think people don't take to as much as you do?
Man, I just happen to fall down a lot. I trip when I go for shots and stuff, and then it ends up messing me up. I'm a clumsy person.
Yeah.
And then when they get there, I gotta do what I have right there, and the up kick's always there. So whop.
Well, you say that no one's ever safe when you fight you. I remember you saying you got the long legs, the long arms. If you can reach them, you're gonna hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If
So
your face is
you're
not
looking
covered,
to do the same thing to Mike Perry, I assume.
Oh, anything. I'll hit him with anything.
So is that a guy? Yeah, is that a guy that's got under your skin, or is it just a guy you want to see?
He's just a guy that, you know, we were supposed to fight before the UFC, and now we're in the UFC, so.
It's a fight definitely people are going to see. Well, Niko, I'll let you get going, man.
He's known as one of Florida's best, and I want to be one of Florida's best. So I got to beat all of Florida's best. But Vicente just keeps getting me, that punk.
Well, for the few people who haven't seen you fight, man, what are the things that people can expect to see when you're in the cage with Niko Price?
Please don't blink, because you don't know what you're gonna see.
Well, thank you so much, Niko. I really appreciate taking the time to talk to me.
No problem, man. Thank you so much. Deuces. Okay, cool.